Alright, so the long-awaited Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 6 leaks finally dropped, and the chapter is fully out, and there's a lot to cover. So jumping into this chapter is once again building up the suspense, building up the action, and more so building up what's going on with Code and the Omnipotence. And also, Shikamaru may be breaking the Omnipotence and may be the next person in line to finally come to his senses. So in the start of this chapter, we actually see the elders again, and let me tell you, I did not remember them being alive. These people have to be at least 90 years old or even older than that, but they're still alive. And we learned that Shikamaru is not officially the 8th Hokage. Shikamaru is just kind of like a substitute teacher right now and is just holding Naruto's place. Shikamaru gave them a timeline of 3 years, and the elders are now saying, hey, we gave you 3 years, that's what we agreed upon. We need you to take the title of Hokage because, one, it looks bad, and we need a Hokage in the village to, sort of establish ourselves. So seems like Shikamaru is kind of running out of time, and this will sort of lead him to trying to get the truth about what's really happening, because after that conversation of Amado's, Shikamaru was trying to really think deep within and say, is what I'm experiencing now the truth? Kind of similar to how Sasuke did back in Boruto chapter 80. He asked Ino to get some documents and look at these mission documents, and after he's done looking at them, he asked Ino for a very special call. Can you connect me to Boruto? I need to talk to him. And this sort of being a under the table discussion, because if Shikamaru was caught talking to what we think right now is a traitor in the Hidden Leaf terms, he would be facing some serious consequences. So under the table conversations with Boruto, really trying to figure out the truth of the situation. And we also get a scene with Ada, Kawaki, and Damon, and Ada's kind of breaking it down to Kawaki, saying that the Ten Tails have sort of split up and developed some sort of conscience, and they're now targeting Naruto. But she also kind of throws in that they're also targeting her, and once again, Kawaki does not care about her at all, which I think is going to be very important moving on. And I pointed this out maybe a couple of chapter reviews ago, but the fact that Kawaki keeps being extremely rude, keeps not caring about anybody but himself and Naruto, is going to bite him in the butt moving forward. It's the one characteristic of his personality to where he's just going to end up being so rude and mean to everybody that he's just going to end up pushing them away, and they're going to get tired of him. No matter how much omnipotence is really suppressing them, you being mean to them and you not really caring about their safety is going to show, and people are going to point that out. So it cuts back over to Boruto now talking to Sarada and Sumire, and it's a little bit awkward. There's a little bit of a shipping scene here, which is kind of on par for Sarada's character at this point. And Boruto starts talking to Sarada and Sumire about, hey, Sasuke a little bit ago ended up turning into a tree, protecting me, and I kind of feel like it's my fault. And Boruto explains in a way saying that there is something going on to where, in the past, the Ten Tails would typically devour an Otsutsuki, that would turn into a divine tree, and then the divine fruit would appear. But now it seems like something's going on to where the Ten Tails is not doing that and is going after regular people, and something with Code's chakra might actually be affecting it. And he notes that the karma from Ashiki may have something to do with it. And I wonder if the fact that Code has a dud karma could actually have negative effects on the Ten Tails, because it's not really a full karma, it just only has the destructive abilities of the karma, but it can't even absorb chakra. So it's not like a full karma, but there may be something going on to where this dud karma is potentially affecting the Ten Tails. And I wonder if when Amado was doing these experiments, if Amado would have snuck something in there and this is now negatively affecting how the Ten Tails reacted. Just a possible theory, and kind of, Boruto thinks something along the same lines, but I'm sure it's a little bit deeper than that. And we kind of get cut off here, and Boruto finally establishes some connection with Shikamaru, and Boruto's pretty calm to it, talking to Shikamaru, saying, hey, you're Hokage now, and Shikamaru kind of explains that he's not a Hokage, he's just sort of being a placeholder for now, as is completely tentative. And all of a sudden, Mitsuki pops out of nowhere and grabs him in his snakes. And I just gotta say that this is one of the coldest escapes, and all of Boruto, and maybe some of Naruto, man, because while Boruto's in the snakes, he does something to where he shoots out his sword, and then as he's shooting out his sword, he does the hand signs for flying Raijin and teleports to his sword, kind of like in Sasuke fashion, how Sasuke did that, switching places with his Rinnegan, kind of doing the same thing here. And Boruto placed a flying Raijin mark on the sword so he can transport to it, and he escapes from his binds. So getting out of that very easily, and then right after that, Boruto does lightning release purple electricity. So I don't know what Boruto's been doing for the past 3 years, but it's been paying off because his execution is excellent right now, and I think that he's going to be a real problem moving forward. I don't even know how Kawaki is going to even be able to stand up to this, let alone Mitsuki, because Mitsuki is really trying to kill Boruto at this point in time, and Boruto is just getting out of all his moves and sort of dodging his attacks and easily swiping things away. So it's gonna be very interesting moving to the next chapter when we see them actually fight and see what kind of approach Boruto takes. But he jumps into the air and does this really cool upside down pose, kind of similar to how Sasuke had the pose at the 5 Kage Summon when he's upside down on top of the ceiling. Really cool pose, and then he sort of flies away. But back to the conversation with Shikamaru. Shikamaru really wants to know if he's really Boruto Uzumaki, and saying that I can't really help you publicly, but I can give you help in different methods. So it seems like Shikamaru may be another ally to Boruto, and it's really going to try to get down to the truth. But my question is, even if he gets the truth, even if he figures out that, okay, what I've been hearing and listening to is not the truth, how is he going to convince everybody else? Because Sarada and Sumire have been trying to convince Shikamaru for years now, right? About 3 years. So how is he, the Hokage in place of Naruto, going to convince everybody else? It's going to be very hard, especially with Kawaki being in the picture, and I don't think Kawaki would allow that. Something to keep in mind, and I'm glad that Shikamaru and possibly Ino are on Boruto's side, and his allies keep growing stronger. I kind of think there's going to be some sort of Boruto civil war happening soon, the way this is kind of developing to where we have people who believe in Boruto and people who believe in Kawaki. So kind of something to look out for. So next chapter is Boruto versus Mitsuki, and I'm not going to lie, I think Mitsuki's going to lose. I mean, come on, this is Boruto we're talking about. Man has so much finesse. I just can't see Mitsuki even putting a dent to him, but I think Boruto's going to be taking a defensive just because of how Boruto is Mitsuki's son and Mitsuki is the moon. So I don't think Boruto is going to try to damage Mitsuki at all. Yeah, really crazy chapter. I really enjoyed this one. I mean, Boruto 2 with Vortex has been taking a lot different approach to how they structure the manga chapters, and it's been a lot more entertaining. I still hate that it's monthly, but anyways, hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace. Say